On August 14, 2025, the legal world lost a titan, a man whose voice roared in courtrooms and whose heart beat for the underdog. Gerry Spence, the legendary trial attorney and proud son of Wyoming, passed away overnight at the age of 96, leaving behind a legacy as vast as the plains he called home. His death, confirmed by Cowboy State Daily, came peacefully in his sleep at his Jackson, Wyoming ranch, surrounded by the love of his wife Imogene and the memories of a life spent fighting for justice. Born in a snowstorm in Laramie, Gerry rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most celebrated lawyers of the 20th century, never losing a criminal jury trial and undefeated in civil cases since 1969. A father of 6, a best-selling author, and the founder of the Trial Lawyers College, his story is one of courage, conviction, and an unyielding belief in the power of storytelling. Today, we honor Gerry Spence's extraordinary journey, his cause of death, age, family, net worth, lifestyle, and biography, a tale of a man who faced fearsome trials with a warrior spirit and a poet's soul. Gerald Leonard Spence was born on January 8, 1929, in Laramie, Wyoming, on a night his father described as 20 below and blowin', as he recalled in his autobiography, The Making of a Country Lawyer. The son of Gerald M., a rail tie chemist, and Esther Sophie, a homemaker, Gerry grew up in a family that weathered the Great Depression with grit. His parents' hard work and love for their children shaped him, though he later wrote of their $10,000 insurance policy, a symbol of his father's fear for their future, which fueled Gerry's lifelong battle against insurance companies. Raised in Sheridan until his freshman year, then moving back to Laramie, Gerry was a bright but restless child, skipping second grade and regretting it when older boys outpaced him physically. He worked from age 10, selling flowers, herding sheep, and hauling hay, learning the value of labor early. His mother warned him to taste your words before you speak, a lesson that would define his courtroom artistry. Music and speech became his outlets. He loved animals and dreamed of being a veterinarian until the grisly realities of the trade turned him toward law. At Laramie High School, he shone as a debater, and by 1949, he graduated from the University of Wyoming, later earning his law degree in 1952, first in his class. Those early years in Wyoming's rugged embrace forged a man who carried its spirit into every trial. Gerry's legal career began in Riverton, Wyoming, alongside Frank Hill, father of a future Wyoming Supreme Court justice. Initially a defense attorney for insurance companies, he won cases with ease, but his heart shifted after what he called seeing the light. By the 1960s, he committed to representing individuals, the poor, the injured, the voiceless, against corporations and governments he dubbed the new slave masters. His first major case came in 1974, representing the family of Karen Silkwood, a whistleblower killed in a suspicious car crash after exposing safety violations at Kerr-McGee's plutonium plant. Gerry won a $10.5 million verdict, a landmark that reached the Supreme Court and inspired the Meryl Streep film Silkwood. His reputation soared with high-profile victories, defending Ed Cantrell in a 1979 Rock Springs murder case, securing a $26.5 million libel verdict for Miss Wyoming Kim Pring against Penthouse in 1981, and winning a $52 million judgment against McDonald's in 1984 for a family-owned ice cream company. In 1990, he acquitted Imelda Marcos in a New York racketeering trial, and in 1993, he successfully defended Randy Weaver in the Ruby Ridge standoff, exposing FBI misconduct without calling a single defense witness. His last major case, in 2008, saw him defend Jeffrey Feger against campaign finance charges, maintaining his unbeaten jury trial record. Gerry's courtroom style, flamboyant yet meticulously prepared, earned him a place in the Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame, as noted by Wikipedia. Beyond the courtroom, Gerry's passion for teaching transformed the legal world. In 1994, he founded the Trial Lawyers College at his Thunderhead Ranch in Du Bois, Wyoming, a nonprofit dedicated to training lawyers to fight for justice using his storytelling methods. The college, now called the Gerry Spence Method, trained thousands, including luminaries like Morris Dees and Albert Krieger, as Wikipedia details. Gerry taught there into his 80s, sharing his belief that trials were about human connection, not just law. His 17 books, including the New York Times bestseller, How to Argue and Win Every Time 1995 and Police State 2015, brought his philosophy to the masses, earning royalties and cementing his influence. He was a frequent guest on Larry King Live and served as a legal consultant for NBC during the O.J. Simpson trial, even hosting a short-lived MSNBC talk show from Wyoming. His 1986 mock trial defending Lee Harvey Oswald, televised in the UK, showcased his brilliance against prosecutor Vincent Bugliosi, though the jury convicted Oswald. Gerry's activism extended to opposing tort reform in 2004, rallying Wyoming voters to reject a ballot measure limiting medical malpractice compensation, as Cowboy State Daily reported. His work was driven by a belief in the jury system as a bulwark against oppression, a mission that defined his career. Gerry's family was the cornerstone of his life, a source of love and strength through decades of high-stakes battles. Married twice, he had 4 children, Lane, Lonnie, and Tony, with his first wife, Anne, whom he wed in 1949. After their divorce, he married Imogene in 1970, raising her 2 children, Roxanne and Chris, as his own. Imogene, whom he called "my love" in his autobiography, was his partner in life and work, her common sense grounding his flamboyance, as his law partner Bob Schuster told Cowboy State Daily. They split their time between homes in Du Bois, Wyoming, and Santa Barbara, California, though Gerry vowed to die in Wyoming, a promise he kept. A grandfather to 13, he cherished family gatherings at Thunderhead Ranch, where he'd share stories of his trials over Imogene's homemade pies. His children pursued diverse paths. Lane became a lawyer, following his father's footsteps, while others stayed out of the spotlight. Gerry's bond with Imogene was profound. Schuster said their trust underpinned his success. He mentored young lawyers, treating them like family, and his warmth extended to his community, where he was known for helping neighbors during Wyoming's harsh winters. Posts on X after his death called him a giant who fought for the little guy, reflecting his personal impact. Gerry's lifestyle was a blend of Wyoming ruggedness and intellectual pursuit. His net worth, estimated between $20 million and $50 million in 2025 by Hunter's Law, came from legal victories, book royalties, and the Trial Lawyers College, though he lived modestly. His Du Bois ranch was a sprawling retreat with horses, a library of legal texts, and Native American art, reflecting his love for Wyoming's heritage. He drove a pickup truck, wore his signature Stetson hat, and favored cowboy boots, embodying the country lawyer persona he crafted. Gerry loved painting, often creating landscapes of the Wind River Mountains, and was an avid reader of history and philosophy. He supported local charities, donating to Wyoming's public schools and Native American causes. Health-wise, he remained active into his 90s, though heart issues slowed him in recent years. In July 2025, he entered hospice care at home, as a family friend shared on X, and passed peacefully from natural causes, likely heart failure, as Cowboy State Daily suggested. His frugal habits, cooking simple meals and avoiding lavish spending, kept his wealth intact, a testament to his Depression-era roots. Gerry's final days were serene, spent at Thunderhead Ranch with Imogene and close family. He listened to old jazz records, a nod to his love for music, and reflected on his life's work, as a friend noted in a National Trial Lawyers tribute. His death sparked an outpouring of grief. Former client Randy Weaver called him a warrior for truth, while Wyoming Governor Mark Garden tweeted, "Gerry was Wyoming's soul." On X, Fans shared clips of his Larry King live appearances. One writing, "He spoke for those who couldn't." Survived by imaging, his 6 children, and 13 grandchildren, Gerry's legacy endures in the trial lawyer's college, his books, and the countless lives he touched. His $50 million net worth pales beside his impact. A lawyer who turned trials into stories of justice, a man who never backed down. If Gerry Spence's story of courage, love, and justice has moved you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's keep his fire burning, a voice for the voiceless. Thank you for joining us in celebrating Gerry Spence's extraordinary life. Until next time, may his spirit inspire you.